Hey, thanks for checking out my video. The most common thing I get asked now that Trinity's not in the build anymore, when Trinity was in the build, I got asked every day, what about Trinity? How do I proc Trinity? How does Trinity work? But now that Trinity's gone, it's how do I stay alive? I die too much, blah, blah, blah. So I figured I'd make a full video breaking down the defensive layers of Frostblades and explain why you need them, how they work, how you can get them, and how to make your character stay alive better. Okay? Let's get into it. Here's the checklist. You need all these things. Okay? Frostblades is not a tanky build in the sense that you will be tanking damage like a chieftain might or a pathfinder might or a juggernaut definitely would. But it is tanky in the sense that it's very easy to survive and not die by avoiding damage in the first place and by healing and recovering your life back whenever you do take some damage. Okay, so let's go over all these things here on this list. First, evasion. You need to have like 85% plus chance to evade, I would say, minimum. If you didn't know this, evasion is entropy based, meaning it has luck protection, both good and bad. What that means is basically that it's every hit is not a separate chance. It's like a building chance. So if you evade 9 hits in a row, on the 10th hit, you will get hit if you have 90% chance to evade, for example. If you have 95% chance to evade, you will get hit once in every 20 hits. You're not going to just evade every single hit, okay? But for that reason, 95% chance to evade is twice as good as 90% evade because you will be getting hit 1 in 20 instead of 1 in 10, if that makes sense. So it's very, very important. The short version is it's very important to have high evasion. And the way you get that is by having a very high evasion chest, like 2500 plus. The rest of your gear needs to be good evasion bases, top tier bases. You need to have level 21 grace. You need to get blind in the build. Blind lowers the enemy's accuracy, which gives you more chance to evade. It's very strong. The Mark the Prey notable does lowers accuracy too. You need to have good flasks, okay, with a good evasion suffix on your flasks. You need to have your tree set up properly too. The evasion node's on the tree. In order to reach 95 evade, it is pretty much mandatory to use the Grace Evade Watcher's Eye. Without that on this build, it's very, very difficult to hit 95. But you can still get up to around 90 or so, like pretty easily without that. And 90 is still very, very comfortable. Next, Fortify. Fortify, it's simple now. You get it from the chest, from the Eater of Worlds Implicit, which is the blue, Ichors. Roll chance to fortify. Even a low proc rate, like 7%, the bottom tier, it will still be up almost all the time. It will proc fast because you're hitting very, very high attacks per second. So it will proc all the time. It's just 20% less damage taken from hits. It's too good not to use. Make sure you get Fortify. Speaking of high attacks per second, it's very important to have a fast weapon because this is where all your recovery comes from, is life on hit and instant leech. My character, my scuffed SSF character, has 1700 life on hit per second. So the faster you attack, the more life you get back. So if you're fighting something like an Essence, for example, and it's like shotgunning you with like a bunch of small little hits, like bam, 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 right? But you're hitting fast too, bam, 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 bam. You're gonna your life's just gonna go zzz like this, and you'll stay at full health, and you won't die because you have a fast weapon and your life recovery is very, very high. So make sure you get a high attack speed weapon. This is important. Suppression. Evasion doesn't work against spells, guys. It only works against attacks. So you need to have 100% suppression, which is very easy to do. You get 62% from the tree, so you only need to get 38 from your gear. Get it from chest and shield. 19 and 19 is the best solution because it only requires 2 suffixes. But when you're first gearing, you can get it from wherever you need to get to 100. And if you can't quite get to 100, use the Lucky Mastery, which will help you bridge that gap. Once you do get to 100, take the Prevent +3 Mastery on the Spell Suppression Mastery, and that'll get you up to 56% less damage taken from spells because you get another 3% from Inveterate. So Spell Suppression is very, very important. Make sure you get it. +2 strikes. This is extremely important for defense in addition to for offense. Look at this picture right here. if you are surrounded by monsters and if you have no additional strikes and you attack one time, you're only going to hit these monsters right here. And all the rest of these monsters are going to just annihilate you. And then you're going to have to rely on your evasion like Neo here to stay alive. And if you get unlucky, then you're going to die. But if you have +2 strikes and pierce, when you are surrounded by monsters and you attack one time, you're going to hit this guy and this guy and this guy, and then the entire screen's going to get frozen instantly, and then nothing's going to be able to hit you. And that is so, so important for survivability. So get +2 strikes. The best way to get it is on gloves. You can get +2 on glove implicit alone. Get 1 on the tree at first, and then eventually you're going to work up to getting +2 on gloves, and then you can drop the points on the tree. It's also very good for invitations and stuff to kill stuff faster. You're doing an invitation, for example, and like a formed, if you're hitting 3 of the bosses at the same time instead of 2 or only 1 even, you're going to kill it 3 times faster. And then when you kill stuff 3 times faster, you have less opportunity to die. So +2 strikes is critical. Make sure you get it. Pierce is important for the exact same reason, basically. It's for clear speed, and it's for freezing stuff around you. If you don't have any pierce, then your Herald of Ice isn't going to chain properly, or it's not going to chain well enough, because Herald of Ice doesn't get your crit. Herald of Ice has very low crit, and for Herald of Ice to work, the enemy has to be frozen. So if you don't have any pierce, you're not going to freeze enough stuff for Herald of Ice to chain around to explode an entire pack. But if you have pierce, Herald of Ice will explode in much bigger AoE because of you piercing all the targets in the back here, like in this picture on the right. So make sure you get pierce on gloves also. On the implicit is best. If you can't get on the implicit, you can craft it as a prefix on gloves. Get pierce. Elusive. People ask a lot, what about this dagger wheel here? Why are you taking this dagger wheel? It's mainly for damage, okay, primarily, because Elusive gives you crit multi. But it's also for survivability, because Elusive gives you a chance to avoid taking damage, if you didn't know that. It starts when your Elusive first procs, it'll be all the way up around 27% or so, and then it'll ramp down as your Elusive falls off, just like your crit multi will ramp down. So it's very important to have all these Elusive points here on the tree and use Nightblade to get Elusive. Elusive is a powerful defensive layer. Most people might maybe not know that. It also increases your movement speed, which is helpful for avoiding damage as well. Steelskin. This is optional, okay, but it is an extra defensive layer that you can help with survivability. You can use cast 1 damage taken on it to auto-proc it if you don't want to, you can't put it on left click anymore, unfortunately. I think level 6 and 13 is a pretty good sweet spot. This will give you about 800 plus extra survivability buff that you can use. It does require an extra gem, too, if you use cast 1 damage taken. But you can drop Frost Bomb, Culling Strike, or Faster Attacks to fit this in. It's all those gems are kind of flexible, optional gems, so decide that if you want. A shield. Very, very strong for survivability and damage. Block is just another defensive layer on top of all that other stuff to help keep you alive. Plus, shields have high evasion on them too. The high bases do. You can also get powerful double damage, attack speed, cold as extra chaos mods, which give you almost as much damage as dual wielding does. Dual wielding is not that much more damage. It's only like 3% more damage, and that's if you have like an insane claw. If you have a crappy claw, it might not be more damage at all. Plus, you get life, and that's how you cap your suppression. Without a shield, the rest of your build is going to be super scuffed. I don't recommend not using a shield. Life. You need high life rolls basically on all your gear. Get up to 3.5k life. If you have crappy life or no life anywhere, and your life's down at 3k or less than 3k, then you're not going to have enough life to survive a lot of the occasional hits that you do take. You need to have a high life pool. So get life on all your gear. Tier 1, Tier 2, high life rolls. Chaos Res, also very important. Get it on as many pieces as you need to get to cap. The minimum that you can have it on to cap is 4 pieces, and that's if you have like all Tier 1 rolls, like on chest, gloves, boots, and a ring. But get as much chaos resist as you can get. There's a lot of chaos damage in the game, and you will die to it if you don't have chaos res. Movement and playstyle. This is probably the most important thing on this entire list, actually. Don't stand still for longer than a second or two. You need to be very mobile on this build. The build is extremely mobile with Whirling Blades and Frostblink. You need to be moving around often. Use Frostblink to reposition yourself. You can do it instantly. Frostblink is instant cast, so you don't even lose damage by using it. Use it to get behind stuff and stay out of damage. And then also use Whirling Blades a lot and let your additional strikes auto-target stuff for you. Frostblades has a really long strike distance or strike range, so you can move around a lot and just auto-target, and the additional strikes will hit everything for you. You don't have to really like worry about where you are as long as you're moving around. Stay on the edge of packs like legions and expeditions. Don't just burst into the middle of them unless you can Frostblink out instantly, because you're going to die if you do that. I'm going to show you an example of what I mean here against Minotaur. I have a Minotaur here on my standard character from last league that is insane. I put on a white claw and I took out all my support gems here, and I'm just going to show you a demonstration of what I mean with Frostblink. So I'm just going to stand in front of him and hit him, and then as soon as I see him swing, I'm going to Frostblink through him like that. I'm going to swing, he's swinging, I Frostblink through him. He's hitting me, I Frostblink through him. He's hitting me, I Frostblink through him. You see how I'm doing that? He's hitting, I Frostblink through him. Just like this. See him swinging, Frostblink through him. Swinging, Frostblink through him. You can do this all day long and you'll never get hit. You'll never ever get hit as long as you play this properly. This does take a little bit of practice. Well, you know, I died because I'm standing in the middle of this rock fall thing, but you get the idea. Do that when you're fighting bosses and essences and stuff like that, and it'll help you stay alive a lot better. Okay. Yeah, there you go. That's the checklist. If you do all those things, your character should feel great. My SSF character this league is already level 96, almost 97, because I have most of these things, and it's felt very, very smooth. So yeah, do all those things. Bonus, check this out. There's a dog in this picture. Can you see it? There's a dog on the screen right now. Can you see him? You probably can't. He's invisible. Watch this magic trick. There he is. There's the invisible dog. Hey, there he is. You guys see him? Hi. Oh, he's coming over. He's excited. Bonus invisible dog. All right, that's it. Hope this stuff helps. Thanks for watching. Come by the stream. Follow the stream at twitch.tv/zishpoe. I'll be streaming a couple days a week. I don't do this full time. This is just a hobby for me. But yeah, come stop by and say hi if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. That's it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel for more stuff, and see you next time.